Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're not just dusting off some dry piece of ancient history, we're actually diving into what reads like a fast-paced true crime mystery. We're taking a look at the story of the defeated Ai, which comes straight from the text of Joshua 7. It's a fascinating, honestly kind of terrifying look at the unexpected consequences of a single hidden act. It really shows how an entire community can just be completely derailed by something buried completely out of sight. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so to set the scene, the Israelites are coming off this massive, miraculous victory. They are riding high. So they send some scouts ahead to check out their next target, a city called Ai. And these scouts come back and basically tell their leader Joshua, look, don't even bother sending the whole army. The people of Ai, there's hardly any of them. Just send, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 men. So, brimming with absolute confidence, they send a small force of about 3,000 soldiers. They seriously thought this was going to be an absolute walk in the park.
But wow, here is the shocking twist, and it brilliantly illustrates just how fast fortunes can turn. Those 3,000 overconfident soldiers, they didn't find an easy victory at all. They were completely routed by the men of Ai. They suffered 36 casualties and were literally chased all the way from the city gates. The source text actually describes the psychological blow perfectly. It says the hearts of the people melted and became as water. So this wasn't just a military loss, right? This was complete and utter demoralization.
As you can imagine, this sudden, shocking defeat triggers utter despair. Joshua is devastated. He literally tears his clothes, throws dust on his head, and falls face down to the earth before the ark until evening. He's crying out, basically asking why they were even brought across the Jordan River just to be destroyed. But instead of comfort, he gets this sharp, urgent command. "Get thee up! Wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face?" It's a massive divine wake-up call to stop grieving, get off the dirt, and start investigating. Because, as it turns out, something went very wrong on the inside.
So God reveals the hidden crime. Someone in the camp took what the text calls the accursed thing. Now, these were spoils of war from their previous battle that were strictly forbidden. They were designated for total destruction. But by stealing and concealing these items among their own belongings, this unknown individual didn't just commit a personal theft. No, they broke a sacred covenant. They brought a curse upon the collective whole. That one hidden act of defiance, that is exactly why the entire army failed so miserably at Ai.
So now the hunt is on. To find the culprit, Joshua is commanded to execute this incredibly tense, highly methodical elimination process the very next morning. It's basically a divine dragnet. They bring all of Israel forward, step by agonizing step. First, the tribe of Judah is singled out. Then, they narrow down family by family, landing on the Zerahites. Then, household by household, isolating Zabdi. And finally, man by man, until they zero in on the lone suspect, Achan. Confronted in front of literally everyone, Achan cracks. He confesses. He actually lists the exact tangible evidence he coveted: a goodly Babylonish garment, 200 shekels of silver, and a 50-shekel wedge of gold. He admits to burying them in the earth right beneath his tent, trying to keep his sin entirely private. Joshua immediately sends messengers running to the tent, and sure enough, they recover the hidden stash exactly where Achan said it would be. They bring it all out into the broad daylight for all of Israel to see.
Now the fallout for this hidden act was absolute, and it was incredibly severe. Achan, his family, his livestock, and all of the stolen items were taken to a place that would become known as the Valley of Achor, which literally translates to the Valley of Trouble. There, absolute ancient justice was carried out. The text tells us they were stoned, burned with fire, and buried under a great heap of stones. It was only after this total physical purging of the accursed thing that the curse was finally lifted from the rest of the Israelites, which allowed them to move forward.
So, what does this all mean? The absolute crucial point here is this historical concept of collective responsibility. It leaves us with this really powerful, provocative question. How do the hidden actions of one impact the fate of the many? Achan, he thought his theft was just a private secret, buried safely out of sight in his own tent. And yet that single, isolated choice directly caused the death of 36 soldiers at Ai and brought profound disaster to his entire community. It's a stark, ancient reminder to really consider how our own unseen, individual choices might ripple out and affect the world around us. What hidden things in your own tent might be holding back the wider collective? Something to think about for sure. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.